At it again. And as John Fetterman recovers from his stroke, it seems like he becomes more and more based as time goes on. It's kind of interesting how it's all happened, right? Obviously, a stroke is a very serious thing. I'm sure all of us know someone or know of someone that has had a stroke, and it's a serious thing and very scary. But thankfully, Fetterman made it through and has obviously survived and is still recovering from that. But like I said, now when I hear him talk, I find myself agreeing with this guy sometimes. It's kind of weird, because obviously he is a Democrat. And Democrats are typically completely delusional. And I'm not saying like he's completely sane, but I am sure that people in the Democrat Party, the Nancy Pelosi's, the Chuck Schumers, Barack Obamas of the world, right? Some of the party elites, they aren't too happy with John Fetterman. Because sometimes he comes out and tells it like it is. And I'm going to be playing a couple clips to display that a little bit today. So with that being said, let's dive in.
Senator, many of Trump's cabinet picks are raising eyebrows, but right now all eyes are on Pete Hegseth, who has faced sexual assault and alcohol abuse allegations. He denies any wrongdoing and says he isn't going anywhere. But where do you think this is heading? And there are reports that privately Trump is considering other names to lead the Pentagon, including Governor DeSantis. These two were bitter rivals during the primary. So given their past, is this something you see happening?
Well, no. I mean, for me, it's like I would like to remind everybody that are watching this that Trump won, and now he's going to have control of the House and my chamber and the Senate, and now he'll also is going to have a Supreme Court that is a strong conservative slant too. Now he gets to pick all these nominees, and I'm not going to get worked up about a nominee when the Republicans haven't even decided that that's who I really want to have at this point. Now there's some people now until they're all doing it's all about the math. With the second they have 50 votes, that person's going to the floor, and then they're going to be the next person. That's guaranteed because Vance will be there to break the tie on through that. So until they can even work it out on their side, I'm not going to get worked crazy or freak out about every nominee. And I'd like to remind that they get to pick the people, and we're going to be in the majority, and that's how this works.
See what I'm saying? Like, he actually makes some sense. Like, yo, I'm not gonna panic like y'all are doing every 2 seconds. Republicans haven't even decided that's officially who they're going to confirm. Like, why am I tripping about it? Like, what are we doing? Like, that makes sense to me. If I were a Democrat, I would think the same way. Like, yo, why are we tripping? Like, we gonna trip every time Trump makes a pick? Ooh, 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 and I think actually Fetterman actually said this, this was probably 2 weeks ago. He was like, he said something to that effect, like, yo, why are we tripping about every pick? Like, if you're going to do that, better pace yourself, because we got a long way to go. Like, we got the holidays to make it through, so you better pace yourself, and that's facts. And it's also facts that Trump won. He has the House, the Senate, okay? He has the Supreme Court. He gets to make the picks that he wants. It's simple. It's as simple as that. Joe Biden got to make the picks that he wanted. Why can't Trump? But of course, Democrats, man, they gotta panic, man. They gotta panic. They gotta over exaggerate everything, because it's Trump. Now, if it wasn't Trump, if it was, I don't know, Mitt Romney, who was the president elect, they wouldn't be panicking about anything. They wouldn't have a thing to say, because obviously, that's a uniparty guy. But anyway, let's continue on.
It is his son, after all, and people do have sympathy for that. But a lot of people are angry with him about it. What do you say?
Oh, well, I think it's undeniable that the case against Hunter Biden was really politically motivated, but I also think it's true that the trial in New York for Trump that was political as well too. Now is that, and in both cases, I think a pardon is appropriate, and I really think collectively, America's confidence in these kinds of institutions have been damaged by these kinds of cases. And we cannot allow these kinds of institutions to be weaponized against our political opponents. And it's very clear both trials were politically motivated and weaponized that on the other side.
They'll say that about the J6 people too, though, right? That's what they're going to say on the other side. That is weaponized also.
I'm not referring to that. I'm talking about the New York trial, and now the Democrats on our side there were some that were gleeful, calling it like now he's a convicted felon and those things, and now for our party we were talking about criminal justice, and we are now talking about second chances, and now all of a sudden now you're like, well, he's a convicted felon and all these things. And now clearly, again, both of those trials, the Hunter Biden one and the trial in New York for Trump, that was politically motivated, and those kinds of charges would have never been brought unless one side could realize that they could weaponize that.
John Fetterman admitting live that the case against Trump was politically motivated. I'm sure Joy Behar was absolutely steaming on the inside. She about blew a gasket when he said that. Oh, man. Goodness gracious. But he was telling the truth. It was politically motivated. Had his name not been Donald Trump, these cases wouldn't have been brought against him. I believe that to be true. John Fetterman thinks so, too. I have to agree. Like I said, it's crazy to think that I'm agreeing with John Fetterman. But like I said, man, since he's been recovering, he's been becoming a little bit more and more based as time goes on. I'm telling you. Here is John Fetterman talking about Elon Musk.
You see yourself ultimately working with folks like Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, who will be heading.
Yeah, I admire Mr. Musk. He's been involved in very important parts of American society, AI, SpaceX, and other kinds of things. Yes, he's on a different team, but that doesn't make me an enemy. I don't automatically going to become a critic. It's like, hey. He has made, he's made our economy and our nation better, and our politics are different, and I don't agree with some of the things that he might say, but that doesn't make him, like I said, an enemy.
I'm telling you, John Fetterman, man, the guy is making sense. The guy is making a whole lot of sense, and this is actually the moment I believe that that I mentioned earlier, where he was talking about pacing yourself. Check it out.
Holy shit! I didn't see that coming.
Oh.
I mean, yes, he was the ultimate troll, and people have the opportunity. They can freak out over things and respond. And if you want to do that, you don't have to. You better pace yourself, though, because it's not even Thanksgiving. And we don't have to react and take unserious things so seriously that the world's going to spin off its axis the way it is right now. But I just heard something. I heard that Trump is going to issue a new silver dollar to commemorate that. So I think that's going to be the next cycle.
So if you didn't catch it, the guy asked him, have you heard that Matt Gaetz resigned and dropped out? He was like, holy shit, I didn't see that one coming, like being sarcastic about it. I can't lie, I kind of like this new John Fetterman. All right, I would never vote for him, but I like this new Fetterman, man. I think hey, listen, if all Democrats were like this, the world would be a whole lot better, a whole lot better. All right, if all Democrats just used a little bit of common sense like Fetterman is using here, the world would be a lot better. Not saying I would vote for them, but the world would be better. All right? Be a whole lot better. But who am I? I'm just a guy talking on the internet. What do I know? But yeah, man, y'all let me know your thoughts and your opinions on this in the comment section below. Shout out to John Fetterman, man. Guy's hilarious. Wouldn't vote for him, but hey, if he keeps on going this direction, I wouldn't mind, replacing Fetterman with Susan Collins, maybe. Mitch McConnell, right? Not in terms of like leadership, but Mitch McConnell has to go for sure. He's got to get up out of there. But Fetterman is becoming more based than some of the conservative senators that we have, like the Susan Collins, the Lisa Murkowskis, the John Cornyn's, and the Lindsey Grahams. Like he's sounding more based than them. I'm telling you, we Fetterman might have to join the Republican Party if he keeps going this direction. But maybe we'll see. Peace and love. I'm out.